Hello dear students, I welcome all of you to this video in which we will see application of stack. We are going to check whether the given string entered by the user is palindrome or not. Now palindrome, as you all know, are the strings which read from left or right remain the same. For example, madam, this string if read from left or if read from right, the spelling remains the same. Similarly, Nitin, check this ABCCBA, and from here also if you read from right hand side it is ABCCBA. So all these strings are palindrome, whereas clearly these strings are not palindrome. Read from left it is ABCCBB, and read from right it is BBCCBA, which is not a palindrome. Nitesh, or double A double B but single A is are not palindromes. So what will be our method to solve the problem? To solve the problem, what we are going to do is we will use a stack. Now, the method is like this. Let's say that the original string entered by the user from the keyboard is stored in a string called original. That is array of characters we will use. And this original will be the input given by the user. Let's say that user has entered the string as madam, and all the strings entered through the keyboard ends with \0. This is the string entered. Now what we will do is we'll use a stack. Now I usually draw stack in my working like this bucket. Actually, implementation details of stack contains an array of fixed size and a counter called top, which is initially -1. Okay, but all those details can be seen during implementation. Now, the original string entered by the user is scanned from left to right, and every letter is taken one by one, starting from left hand side, and it is pushed in the stack. So next letter taken is A and it goes on top of M because we are pushing all these characters. So this is how we are going to push these characters. Note that we are not going to push \0. We will stop at the last letter that the user had entered, that is M. Now you observe this stack contains all the letters of original, but the topmost letter actually is the last letter, isn't it? The next to topmost is actually second last letter. So the stack, if you see from top, it is storing reverse of the original string. So what we do now is we take one more array called reverse. Let's take one more array of characters, of course, reverse. Now this reverse array currently is not storing any meaningful values, meaningful characters. But now what we do is we continuously pop characters from the stack one by one. As you all know, pop will always pop the topmost character. So M is taken out first. Remember, this M was actually the last letter. So the last letter is taken out first. And we store that M as a leader here, 0th letter of reverse. Then we pop A, store it next to M, then D, and so on, till the stack becomes empty. So what is this? What is this array reverse? This is nothing but reverse of the original string, correct? But then you see, we will not forget to put one very important letter \0. This we will do in our program. We will purposely push or force this letter in the array over there so that the array of characters is complete. Now we will compare this reverse with original using a library function strlen, which is defined in string.h library. Now, it is expected that students know what is strlen because this was discussed in string handling chapter in revision of C. But then string length strlen will compare these two strings, and if they are equal, then strlen returns zero value. Now, strlen is returning a zero value to tell that there is no difference between the two strings. There is zero difference. That's why it returns zero. And as in this example, you see that the original string is madam and reverse is also madam. So strlen is going to return 0. And that means the strings are palindrome. If strlen returns 0 while comparing original and reverse, then that means both the strings are equal. So we will announce that the string is palindrome. Let's take one more example very quickly, very fast. We'll take an example. Let the original let the original string entered by the user be ABC. Let's take a very small example, ABC backslash 0. Clearly, this is not a palindrome. We will use a stack, and from left to right, we will push these characters ABC. We will take a reverse, one more array reverse, and we will continuously pop all these letters of the stack and store them one by one. And we will not forget to put this backslash 0. Now these two strings will be compared with the library function strlen. Now strlen returns 0 if both strings are equal, but ABC, the original, and CBA, the reverse, are not equal. So strlen will not return 0. So if strlen does not return 0, then we will say it is not a palindrome. That's it. That's the way how we are going to implement this. So let's come to the implementation details. Well, a reader can obviously go through these implementation details of the stack is declared, but this time it is character array in the stack and top. Then push function has been defined where every push will always increase top and then put the character at the topmost place. Then the pop has been defined where it takes out the topmost character as you see and returns that topmost character. And each pop will decrease top by 1. Empty has been defined to check whether the stack is empty. You know that the stack is empty if top is -1. Then true is returned. Otherwise false is returned. And then here are the two strings, original and reverse. And what we are doing is we are taking the original string from the user using getS function and then finding the length of the original. And once we find the length, how many characters are there in original, we have written a for loop where each letter of the original will be pushed in the stack. Correct? So if the original string is ABC, then CBA will be pushed on the stack. First A, if the original string is ABC, then the stack here would be ABC. If this is the original string, then A is first pushed, then B, then C. Okay. So this while loop now, after the stack contains CBA, is going to now make a reverse array, which will contain C, then B, then A. Correct? Because all these characters will be popped. And finally, we are forcibly putting a special letter backslash 0 in the reverse. Last things, but most important, we check with strcmp whether original and reverse are equal. If they are equal, then the strcmp returns 0. If it returns 0, we will print the string as palindrome, otherwise not palindrome. The reader is encouraged over here to read the entire code line by line and execute it on paper. Yes, I repeat, the code has to be executed on paper by drawing diagrams and then going to a computer and typing it and executing it. Thank you very much.